Alex, there's a lot of times people say, oh, they're building an event or a card around one man, but I don't think I've ever seen a bigger example of that as this one with you returning to Sydney. Does it feel like the homecoming that it was clearly built to be?
Yeah, I think I'm going to get more of a feel for that, today at the open workouts, press conference and all that. I'm going to get that real feel. But, I guess so. I'm just, fight week's a fight week, but I think I'll really feel it today from this afternoon, open workouts. I'm expecting good turnouts for everything, so the support's always incredible here.
Are there advantages and disadvantages to that, right? Clearly, you can always get caught up in the emotions of feeling the love from the fans. Do you have to sort of be aware of hey, listen, this is nice, but I'm still going and there's still a fight to be had here?
It just depends on the fighter. How do they deal with it? For me, I'll deal with being at home really well. I'll deal with being, in enemy territory really well. I'll find a way to make it work for me every single time. So it really does depend on the fighter. For me, I'm in a point in my career where the more energy, the better. So this, you know what I mean? Because I used to, early in my career, it used to be more about, I used to try and stay a little more composed. I didn't want to get, where now I'm I don't want to, sometimes when I try and chill, I'm too chill. So I'm the energy is going to boost me up. I'm going to let it give me that energy, which I think is going to be an advantage.
Obviously, when Diego got the rematch, there was a little bit of conversation about maybe there were other guys who could have potentially had it ahead of him. But now it's here and you sort of have the fight on hand. Is it fair to say that actually maybe this could be the most fan-friendly, entertaining fight you could have here in Sydney this weekend?
Yeah, for sure. I want to have a big moment here. That's what I love about being here in Sydney, because whenever I'm travelling away, everyone can't be there live. They can't be in the arena and feel the atmosphere. You know what I mean? You have that feeling, but I get to do that here. Not only go there, hopefully exciting fight, but I want to go out there and look dominant and really give all my supporters, family and friends, give them that feeling, right? That moment that they're going to remember for forever. Because they do get them feelings still at home through the TV, but it ain't nothing like it, especially land down under. I can only imagine what that's going to be like walking out. But then, so I want them to just feel that energy. And then having an opponent like that, we're going to bring on a good show, so there'll probably, be a good atmosphere through the whole fight. But yeah, and then I want to get my hand raised and give everyone that moment.
You're always a guy who's looking for new challenges, right? So we obviously have Mobzar and their own out there. I don't know if you saw this, but Arman Sarukian was on Ariel's show and said he wants to drop to 45 and fight for the title. Curious if you have any thoughts on Arman potentially trying to cut that sort of weight and fighting you and what that could do.
Yeah, I mean, I love challenges. He would obviously be a tough challenge. If he could get down there, that would be definitely a tough challenge. Same with Mobzar. Obviously, Mobzar, good. Even the wrestling side of things, I'd love that. Because for the legacy, you can talk about legacy. You got guys like Mobzar undefeated. So later, obviously, I've got a job to do this weekend. But whatever comes my way, I'll be happy. But Mobzar, Larone, incredible records. Or even Arman, if he was to come down, that's a challenge. So that'll be definitely something. And I feel like my takedown defense is pretty solid. So that'll definitely be a fun one.
Last one for me. You've entered sort of rarefied air where fans, when they see you booked a fight, are almost sort of 50-50 about it because no one wants to see you hurt anymore. Everyone just loves you so much. They don't even want to see you go out there and risk it. How long do you expect to keep doing this for? Obviously, I know that this was sort of hey, you could retire in Sydney and there's no interest in that for you. But are you just going to do this until you feel like maybe I'm not at my best? Or is there a moment where you think, there's one moment I'm still searching for, and that'll be the moment? Yeah,
I guess so. This one, it's how you get through camps. I was able to get through camp. We're making the right adjustments. I am 37 years old, but the intensity was still there. We've maybe pulled back the volume a little bit. So, if you make them adjustments, you can have a longer career. Obviously, it's all about the health and that as well. But I plan on taking minimal damage out there, and then having a quick turnaround, and then we'll see what happens after that. But yeah, you're right. This one's definitely, because there was you've seen a lot of rumours. Well, I wouldn't say rumours. You've seen a lot of people it's going to be his last one, and obviously I put that to bed. It's definitely not the right time for this. I still got a bit left in me, and So I want to be active because how much longer am I going to have? You know what I mean? If I be active, maybe I can fit another 6 in. You know, so we'll see where we go. But I want minimal damage. Mid-year sounds pretty good for me. And then I didn't get to do that. I told you I wanted to be active last year. Took too much damage in that first fight and had to get a couple of things looked after. And then so that took a bit longer, but I expect to be a lot more active this year.
Jean Silva, obviously, he shouted that he wants a title shot next. So, obviously, what did you make of his performance against Arnold Allen?
Yeah, I mean, I thought that was going to be a real challenge for him. And, he passed it. Looked good in the later rounds as well. So, that's what you want to see from a prospect, a guy that's going to be pretty calculated in Arnold. And then even Arnold's quite fit as well. He's got the cardio, but Silva's shown that he's got the cardio to get through there and get the win against someone like that. Was very promising. Has he earned a title shot just yet? I don't think so. But like I said, it's pretty obvious that I think you're going to get Movzar or Lerone Murphy fighting, I think. And that's obviously makes the most sense, especially with their records and the resume they have. Like legacy-wise, that looks great for me.
And what did you make of him, jumping off his back?
Man, he's that guy, man. He's fun to watch. He's a good dude as well. He's actually very respectful. But yeah, very excited. He's very hyper, you know what I mean? And he's all over the place, and that's something that I guess you would expect. Once he did it, I was just laughing, that's Silva.
And obviously, I know you're not thinking about the lightweight division, but what did you make of the Justin Gaethje fight and Paddy? Yeah,
it was a fun fight. Very, very fun fight. Obviously, entertaining. They went at it. We'll see what happens from here. Whether Ilya will be bouncing back. I think he said he would like a mid-year. We'll see what happens there. I mean, you got a stacked division. Obviously, you got Arman as well. We'll see what happens. Maybe a couple of wins. Maybe I'm back in that conversation. We'll see.
G'day, Volk. You just mentioned legacy, and there seems to be two sides of that coin, where one side is fighters wanting a name, like Islam saying, wanting Usman, Jones wanting Stipe. You have the perspective of you wanting the record. So what's your kind of take on wanting the name over the next person who's rightfully up?
No, not. I wouldn't say the record. It's just it's a position where he is. Let's be honest. He is very deserving of a title fight, which that means a lot to me. And he's undefeated. And he's look at his resume as well. He's took out all the top guys. So they're that's how I look at it. I don't care about the names. If there's a name that doesn't deserve it, I'm not too interested in that. I'll do it. I'll fight anyone anywhere. That's how I am. But for me that is important. I've said that through my whole career. If you remember my title reign, I'm trying to find someone. Make it clear and be that guy that should be next. You know what I mean? I want a clear guy that's meant to be in front of me. Let's go. So I've always wanted that. I'm a believer in the ranking system. I think that means more.
And you've got a part-time job as a YouTuber now. Max has recently said that he's really keen to do a Cooking with Volk episode. Would you be keen to head out to Hawaii, maybe roast a pig or something like that?
100%, yeah. It's good, man, because I get along with everyone anyway, right? But even so many people that like Islam, I'm going to do a cook. We've planned. I'll do Cook and Volk with him, Cook and Volk with Ilya, even just everyone. I get along with everyone. Even if I have to face him, I'll still do. I'll do Cooking with Volk with Lopes tomorrow if you want it. I wouldn't care. So it's good fun. It is pretty cool.
And David Adesanya has been walking around calling himself the uncrowned 145 champ for years. Is that something we could see towards the end?
Yeah, maybe. He's got a big cut ahead of him, big weight cut ahead of him, but we could maybe make that happen.
Thanks, Volk.
Hi, Volk.
Hey.
You got quite a full list. Jean Silva, Lerone, Mostar, and now maybe even Arman too. And Arman actually said that it would be a very easy fight against you, and he said he just axe kick you.
Okay.
What do you think would
just
be
axe kick me?
Yeah.
Okay.
What do you think would be a toughest challenge out of this?
Out of all of them?
Yeah.
Your probably your Armans and your Movzars. They're gonna obviously gonna, he's saying he's gonna axe kick. Obviously, he's gonna want to wrestle. But again, I like the guy. He's hilarious. That PR run that he went on was incredible. He's another guy I'd like to do a cook on with Volk with. I have done one with him. But yeah, if we.